As the prostitute Pingala stood in the doorway, many men came and went, walking by a house. Her only means of subsistence was prostitution, and therefore she anxiously thought, maybe this one who is coming now is very rich. Oh, he is not stopping. I'm sure someone else will come. Surely this man who is coming now will want to pay me for my love, and he will probably give lots of money. Thus, with vain hope, she remained leaning against the doorway, unable to finish her business and go to sleep. Out of anxiety, she could sometimes walk out toward the street and sometimes she went into a house. In this way, the midnight hour gradually arrived. As the night wore on, the prostitute who intensely desired money gradually became morose and her face dried up. And thus, when filled with anxiety for money and most disappointed, she began to feel a great detachment from her situation and happiness arose in her mind. This prostitute felt disgusted with the material situation and thus became indifferent to it. Indeed, detachment acts like a sword, cutting to pieces the binding network of material hopes and desires. Now please hear from me the song sung by the prostitute in that situation. This is spoken by Lord Krishna. O King, just as a human being who is bereft of spiritual knowledge never desires to give up his false sense of proprietorship over many material things, similarly a person who has not developed detachment never desires to give up the bondage of the material body. Prostitute Pingala said, just see how greatly illusion I am, because I cannot control my mind. Again the same point, because I cannot control my senses. Just like a fool, I desire lusty pleasure from insignificant man. That's now was women, now is, do you understand? This is the same parallel. I am such a fool that I have given up the service of that person who, been eternally situated in my heart, who is actually most dear to me. That most dear one is the Lord of the universe, who bestows real love and happiness, and the source of all prosperity. Although he is in my own heart, I have completely neglected him. Instead, I have ignorantly served insignificant man who can never satisfy my real desires, and who has simply brought me unhappiness, fear, anxiety, lamentation and illusion. See what she's saying? Just now Pururava said another thing, correct? Association with the woman or man who attached to women, I simply lost my intelligence, right? Correct? What the use of my education, all these things are useless. Yeah, she is also saying, I serve this insignificant man who cannot satisfy my real desire, and they have brought me unhappiness, fear, anxiety, lamentation and illusion. You see how? Oh, how I have uselessly tortured my own soul. I have sold my body to lusty, greedy men who are themselves objects of pity. Thus, practicing the most abominable profession of a prostitute, I hope to get money and sex pleasure. See how she is shrinking. This material body is like a house in which I, the soul, am living. The bones forming my spine, ribs, arms and legs are like the beams and cross beams and pillars of the house. And the whole structure, which is full of stool and urine, is covered by skin, hair and nails. The 9 doors leading to this body are constantly excreting foul substance. Besides me, what woman would be so foolish as to devote herself to this material body, thinking she might find pleasure and love in this contraption? Right? Now she is becoming to understand what is the use of external blood, stool, urine. You understand? See, now she is saying, certainly in the city of Videha, I am alone and completely foolish. I neglected the Supreme Personality of Godhead who awards us everything, even our original spiritual form, and instead I desire to enjoy sense gratification with many men. Is how she said. You understand? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is absolutely the most dear one for all living beings, because he is everyone's well-wisher and Lord. He is the Supreme Soul situated in everyone's heart. Therefore, I will now pay the price of complete surrender, and thus purchasing the Lord, I will enjoy with him just like Lakshmi Devi. Now you see, now enjoyment is there. You are not denying that enjoyment, but the enjoyment is changed to serving the Lord. You understand? That is what the subject matter is all about. Man provides sense gratification for woman, but all these men, even though demigods in heaven have a beginning and an end, they are all temporary creation, will drag away by time. Therefore, how much actual pleasure or happiness could any one of them ever give to their wives? Although I most stubbornly hope to enjoy the material world, somehow or other detachment has risen in my heart and is making me very happy. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu must be pleased with me. Without even knowing it, I must have performed some activity satisfying to him. This is called Agyata Sukirti. I must have done some piety. That's why Krishna has made this detachment come in my heart. A person who has developed detachment can give up the bondage of material society, friendship and love. And a person who undergoes great suffering gradually becomes out of hopelessness, detached and indifferent to the material world. Thus, due to my great suffering, such detachment awoke in my heart. Yet, how could I have undergone such merciful suffering if I were actually unfortunate? Therefore, I am in fact fortunate and I received the mercy of the Lord. He must somehow or other be pleased with me. So this is a very important thing. Unless the Lord is blessing, there is no... With devotion I accept the great benefit that the Lord has bestowed upon me. Having given up my sinful desires for ordinary sense gratification, I now take shelter of Him, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am now completely satisfied and I have full faith in the Lord's mercy. Therefore, I will maintain myself with whatever comes of His own accord. I shall enjoy life with only the Lord because He is the real source of love and happiness. The intelligence of living entity is stolen away by activities of sense gratification and thus he falls into a dark well of material existence. Within that well, he is then seized by a deadly serpent of time. Who else but the Supreme Personality of Godhead could save the poor living entity from such a hopeless condition? When the living entity sees that the entire universe has been seized by a serpent of time, he becomes sober and sane, and at that time he detaches himself from all material sense gratification. In that condition, the living entity is qualified to be his own protector. Yes. The Avadutta said, thus her mind completely made up, Pingala cut off all her sinful desire to enjoy sex pleasure with lovers and she became situated in perfect peace. Then she sat down on her bed. Material desire is undoubtedly the cause of the greatest unhappiness and freedom from such desire is the cause of the greatest happiness. Therefore, completely cutting off her desires to enjoy so-called lovers, Pingala very happily went to sleep.